home for the 2018 Winter Olympics. Headlines is presented by Calvo's Insurance, a legacy of trust. Serving Micronesia since 1938. Matson Navigation, serving Guam and Micronesia for 20 years. Cars Plus, Dodge Challenger, the undisputed champion. IP&E, fueling excellence. McDonald's of Guam, I'm loving it. And King's Restaurant, located in Tamuning and Dedido. Always open, always local.
Coming up on Primetime Tuesday, it's back to business as usual for the island's federal workforce as the federal government shutdown has ended. Plus, a man accused in last month's double deadly shooting appeared in court today, and the Legislative Ethics Committee chairperson speaks and is working to bring the resolution against Senator Jim Espaldon back on the table.
Next slide.
Hafide and good evening, Guam. Thanks so much for tuning in or streaming us live. I'm Jason Salas alongside Sabrina Salas-Matanani, and it is back to business as usual for our community's federal workforce. The Senate early Tuesday morning Guam time passed a continuing resolution signed by President Donald Trump funding the government for another 3 weeks, ending the shutdown that began, of course, over the weekend.
This means many non-essential employees who were furloughed can return from the brief stoppage in work. Weijia Zhang has the latest from Capitol Hill.
President Trump signed a short-term measure to reopen the government, ending a 3-day shutdown.
Now the Trump shutdown will end, but Republicans' wasteful incompetence continues.
This is not a moment to pat ourselves on the back, not even close.
The bill, which includes a 6-year extension of the Children's Health Insurance Program, funds the government only through February 8th.
The yeas are 81, the nays are 18.
Senate Democrats reluctantly agreed to the stopgap measure after Majority Leader Mitch McConnell promised to put a bill addressing young immigrants brought here illegally as children up for debate and a vote.
Now those talks can get going again. Whether they bear fruit is up to all of us.
Lawmakers on both sides continue to point fingers at each other over the shutdown and at President Trump, criticizing him for being absent from nearly 60 hours of tense negotiations.
The great deal-making president sat on the sidelines.
But the president resumed talks on immigration Monday, meeting separately with 6 Republicans and 2 Democrats at the White House.
He wants our the DACA children to have certainty and a pathway forward, and he's counting on the Senate and the House to do their job.
4 congressional leaders will now have 17 days to craft a plan providing legal status for nearly 700,000 immigrants.
We've been in a meeting every single day. We're working towards it. We're making progress.
The federal government fully reopens Tuesday morning. In Washington, Weijia Zhang, Guam's News Network.
Now, Congress also authorized back pay for federal staffers furloughed by the shutdown. And in other news, Guam YTK has filed an objection to a port motion to dismiss and has asked the Supreme Court to strike the motion or give it more time to respond. The company did win a more than $14 million arbitration award from the port over a lease agreement for Hotel Wharf. In a court filing on Tuesday, YTK writes that for the port to file such a motion while its own appeal is pending is, quote, frivolous and also procedurally and substantively defective. The port basically argues that the legislature's right under a legal doctrine known as sovereign immunity was improperly waived by the arbitration panel award. Under the same doctrine, the port argues the High Court has no jurisdiction over the case. Yet YTK does point out that the Supreme Court has previously held that sovereign immunity is not implicated in the award. It also adds that the port's contention that the High Court lacks jurisdiction to hear the port's own appeal because of the immunity doctrine is bizarre and ridiculous, quoting that document there. Finally, YTK does argue that the port prevails on the motion that it would have serious practical consequences on every government contract with an arbitration clause, in effect rendering the clause worthless. The Supreme Court is considering a final appeal by the port of the arbitration award that was upheld by the Superior Court last year.
A man indicted on aggravated murder charges for last month's deadly double shooting in Harmon is trying to get out of jail. Joseph Sagdahl appeared in court today as his defense attorney argued a couple of motions to help get his client out of prison as he waits to go to trial.
KUAM's Nick Delgado has more in our next story.
He will be found not guilty, defense attorney David Lujan making that statement on behalf of his client, Joseph Sagdal. Sagdal has since been indicted and pleaded not guilty to aggravated murder, among other charges. The 24-year-old, who is a shooting instructor, was in the Harmon area last December when he claims he was hit in the face with a slingshot for unknown reasons. He's accused of chasing down his attackers, allegedly shooting at them with a gun multiple times. Both victims, Brokit Damaso and Avi Morachong, died from gunshot wounds. In court on Tuesday, Lujan argued his motions, the first to reduce Sagdal's $500,000 bail amount. Lujan argued bail is to ensure his client will make all hearings and ensure the safety of the public. He contends his client is not a flight risk and that the incident was isolated. Lujan stated, "I'll bet money on it, Your Honor, that it will not be repeated," as he told the judge he doubts someone will come around and shoot Sagdal again with a slingshot should he be allowed pretrial release. However, Judge Maria Senzon was not satisfied with the arguments, so bail remains at $500,000. Prosecutors opposed the defense request contending isolated or not, Sagdal is charged with killing 2 people. The other motion to modify his release conditions, allowing him to be watched by third-party custodians and be placed under house arrest as he awaits trial. Attorney Lujan says Sagdal's family is putting their Jigo property up for sale to help cover the cost of his bail. The court is considering that request. Sagdal, meantime, is expected to return to court in late February. The court now ordering a forensic evaluation is done to determine if Sagdal was in an impaired mental state the night of the shooting. He will be back in court on February 27th. Reporting for Guam's News Network, Guahusi Nick Delgado.
Jurors will soon deliberate the fate of 66-year-old Antonio Areola, the man charged with the manslaughter of Paul Nakamura. Back in November 2016, the men were out drinking at Slurp and Burp Bar in Harmon when Areola allegedly hit Nakamura in the head with a beer mug. Though Areola was initially charged with aggravated assault, charges were upgraded after Nakamura died from severe head injuries months later. Jurors will return Wednesday for jury instructions before heading into deliberations.
Elsewhere, a 19-year-old woman woke up to find a complete stranger lying on the couch next to her. And now that man's been placed under arrest. 20-year-old Malcolm Isaiah Diego has been charged with 4th-degree criminal sexual conduct as well as harassment. Court documents state that the woman fell asleep on the couch at a home down in Inarahan and woke up to a man not known to her lying on the couch beside her and allegedly groping her buttocks. She pushed the suspect away and ran out of the room.
He allegedly was swinging 2 machetes, calling people out to fight. 32-year-old Bernie Paul is charged with disorderly conduct and public drunkenness. Court documents state police responded to a disturbance in Harmon Monday. A security guard told police the suspect appeared to be drunk and was calling everyone out to fight while swinging the machetes. 2 other people were able to take him down before police showed up.
Well, Guam's finest is investigating a break-in at Southern High School specifically. DOE says the vandalism was reported at the home of the Dolphins on Saturday morning, with officials saying vandals hit the school's freshman academy office, where 2 fire extinguishers had been expelled and a set of keys had gone missing. If you have any information, please call Guam Crime Stoppers. Their number is always 477-HELP. That's 477-4357.
We brought you the story on Primetime Monday. The Guam Memorial Hospital was preliminarily denied accreditation.
And that announcement made less than a couple hours before the hospital did take to the hot seat, detailing to lawmakers their financial struggles. Carmen Terlahi has more in our next story from GMH's oversight hearing.
Money talks. That's the focus of Monday night's oversight hearing for the Guam Memorial Hospital. One item at issue, the ongoing delay of the labor and delivery ward. The hospital board stating finances are in the hands of Gita.
They're not keeping you in the loop as to what the most recent up-to-date information is?
They give me updates.
Okay. It's just really difficult for us to hear. We're very frustrated too because we want to be
Senator,
dealing with
I'm
the
just
most
as
up-to-date
frustrated
information.
as you are. I am a mother. I gave birth to 5 kids at GMH.
Right. Across both sides of the table, emotions of frustration. Board members saying Gita is responsible for the financing and negotiations that fell through with the Bank of Guam. This after Gita and the AG's office could not agree with the bank's new stipulations. Gita Administrator Jay Rojas says local banks are no longer an option, and they're waiting for USDA to fund the project. As reported, the hospital also faces denial of accreditation. Senators asked board members for the Joint Commission's report, but Peter John Camacho, CEO of the hospital, says they can't legally provide the letter.
The report is, as advised by our legal counsel, is not releasable.
Are not or are?
It's not releasable.
It's not at all.
as my understanding.
Camacho had described some parts of the report in broad strokes, including ceiling tiles posing health risk and lack of healthcare professionals. Chief Financial Advisor Benita Maglonia says the problem is they just don't have the money.
We are at the hospital day in and day out. We know what we need to fix that hospital. There have been many studies done on the hospital, and it's all about funding.
Senators also expressing frustration that a lack of details makes it difficult to pinpoint the problem and support the hospital. Vice Speaker Therese Terlahi.
How can we help you, right? How directly is it related to that modernization plan, like the chairperson said, versus, a dedicated funding source versus that standard of care, one item that we need to put in that hospital? Because if that's it, I say we could take care of that.
Reporting for Guam News Network, I'm Carmen Victoria Terlahi.
Stay tuned. We're back with a lot more news after the break.
There are more ways to experience KUAM News than any other source on Guam. Download the KUAM News app for your Apple or Android device for 24/7 news, sports, videos, weather, streaming with KUAM radio, and important news alerts. And stay connected at home with Guam's first app for Apple TV. All available now from the App Store.
A year is made of more than just 365 days. It was each new connection, every show of support, and all your special moments. Happy New Year from your friends at IT&E.
2017 is rapidly coming to an end, and the big finish is on now. At Cars Plus in Mighty, get big year-end savings on a big selection of new 2017 Ram trucks, Jeep Wranglers, Dodge Challengers, and all Fiat models. Plus, buy from Cars Plus today and receive a Cars Plus value card, where you get 21 cents off per gallon at all Shell stations. Big savings and 21 cents off per gallon with a Cars Plus value card when you buy during a big finish at Cars Plus in Mighty. Cars Plus, driven by you.
To me, Blue Moon pairs really well with Guam because Blue Moon is a beer that's exotically spiced. It's very unique and different than anything else out there in the marketplace. We always want to make sure that they're food friendly. You can pair them up with dishes, practically anything. Ingredients are the malts, the hops, the spices. We put them together on that canvas, and the finished work of art is our bottle of Blue Moon beer.
Connect with KUAM News. Find us on your favorite social media platform. Follow us and stay in the know with Guam's news leader.
Half a day, everybody, and welcome back to the show. Well, it is not an issue that is dead just yet, as the Ethics Committee chairperson does confirm he will not change the details in a resolution against Senator Jim Espaldon.
It was sent back to his committee after a heated debate between senators on Monday. Keani Mendiola has the latest.
He's only fixing a technical error.
We don't expect the resolution to change at all, but just to correct those deficiencies and then resubmit it back to the body for their consideration and their adjudication.
On Monday, session talks heated up after a motion was made by Senator Michael San Nicolas to move Resolution 239, the Ethics Committee's investigation findings against Senator Jim Espaldon, into the inactive file. The pair argued the resolution should have never made it onto the agenda because of the lack of the required affirmative votes by the Ethics Committee. The discussion broke the silence from Espaldon himself.
The fact is they voted. On top of it, they've had 4 to 5 months to correct this, and they didn't. They made no move towards to correct this. All the while, my name, my credibility, my character has been at issue. And for now, the chairman to say that he wants to save face for himself and perhaps the committee at the expense of my integrity is totally unfair.
Ethics Committee Chair Fernando Esteves contends the resolution should be brought back to the committee due to a technical error.
We were made aware on Friday, and based on guidance from legal counsel, we understood that the resolution needed to come back to the committee to correct something based on their recommendations so that the record will be complete. So we were notified Friday, and I had let the speaker know that same day.
However, committees are not allowed to meet while in session, and Estevez was hoping to discuss the error with Speaker B.J. Cruz, but was caught off guard by the motion.
I was a bit surprised that the issue was brought up by a senator who never even reviewed the record. It just smells of collusion, and I do have very serious concerns about that.
The motion failed, and the resolution was sent back to the Ethics Committee to make the necessary changes per legal counsel. Espaldon was under investigation for his alleged involvement in a generator deal between the Commonwealth Utilities Corps in the Northern Mariana Islands. If adopted, the resolution would remove Espaldon from his position for the remainder of the legislative term. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Kiani Mendiola.
Meanwhile, it was day 2 for senators in session. On the agenda included Bill 92, introduced by Senator Mary Torres. The bill would essentially extend the legislative term from 2 years to 4. According to Senator Torres, most states and territories have already adopted 4-year terms for their Senate offices. To further her argument, in comparison to those states which have a bicameral legislature, Guam only has one.
Guam is a different model, and this is why I say we ought to extend our terms, because we are a unicameral system. We do both jobs. We do the jobs of the senators and we do the jobs of the House of Representatives. We do it all.
The goal is for lawmakers to have enough time to finish long-term projects without the worry of campaigning.
These are both. So logically, this whole principle behind giving adequate time to learn your craft, perfect your craft, focus on long-term sustainable measures, not be subjected to too much political pressure because your term is up for re-election. 4 years is the best model.
According to the Organic Act of Guam, a legislative election must be held every 2 years. To stay in compliance, Torres proposes to set up a staggered system in which 8 seats will serve 4 years, while the remaining 7 will serve 2. With support from most of the body, the bill was moved to the voting file.
In other news, it could be the last conventional power plant GPA ever builds. Officials were making their case on Tuesday for a new 180-megawatt facility right up here in Dededo. But a prominent would-be neighbor is pushing back against the plan, citing environmental as well as safety concerns.
Nestor Lecanto reports.
John? Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
GPA General Manager John Beneventi began the media briefing by first relitigating the need for a new power plant. He points to an aging, growingly obsolete number of units in GPA's inventory that need to be retired. He says the planned baseload generator in Dededo will solve a lot of issues, from reliability to environmental compliance to cost reduction. Most importantly, it will enable GPA to simply keep pace with demand.
We can bring on the growth, whatever the new military growth that's happening here, and we can meet demand as long as we're going to build a power plant by 2021. It's not a threat, it's a reality. I'm showing you the numbers, no?
GPA wants to build a plant on 60 acres of land across from the Micronesia Mall and next to the Guam Regional Medical City. But GRMC is raising safety and health concerns. GPA says the plant will comply with all federal and local permitting requirements, and its emissions are very clean. He adds that there are plenty of examples in the mainland of hospitals and power plants side by side.
There's always risk in everything that we do, right? But as far as the environmental concerns, safety concerns, all of those will be addressed. Again, most especially because we have to operate a safe power plant.
GRMC opposes a bill to rezone the power plant site from R2 residential to M2 industrial. But Beneventi says much of the surrounding land, including the hospital, are zoned industrial, so a power plant would be compatible. GPA has been searching for a site for several years and believes it's found the best one for a variety of technical reasons. Beneventi says to change now would set the project back, and they don't have the time.
We've looked at many sites, and this site provides the people of Guam with the most reliable scenario. We can buffer ourselves so we have minimal impact with the public.
A bill to rezone the plant site is scheduled for next month. Failure to rezone could stop the project in its tracks. For Guam's News Network, I'm Nestor Lecanto.
With regional headlines, here's KSPN 2 News.
Half a day, Guam. Here's what's making news in the CNMI. A bill now filed in the U.S. Congress may be the last hope for the CNMI in retaining a much-needed workforce. Under the legislation, the Marianas would have access to 13,000 CW permits and have a 10-year extension for the program. CW workers say the introduction of this legislation gives them some hope.
At least there's a hope. We are hoping that they can help us regarding our issue.
The issue still lies. According to workers, this is not a long-term solution, as the Workforce Act's cap will be a continual decrease of 500 permits annually, starting in the fiscal year of 2020. Abdul, a CW worker from Downtown Market, says this will affect his work and other small businesses.
Better, but this is not the final solution. Because final solution, same like this, big company again coming stipend, again CW need the worker. So small company, same like this happening. This is not my opinion, this is not the final solution.
More than half of the employees here in Shrek are on CW, half and half.
Governor Ralph Torres says an additional recommendation being discussed with the Senate is an increase in permits to 15,000. Chair of the Northern Marianas Business Alliance Corporation, Alex Sablan, tells us all their members and certain business leaders are going to the hearing in support of the legislation, Governor Torres and Delegate Greg Khalili Sablan on February 6th. For more news, visit SaipanTV.com. For KSPN2, I'm Adriana Cotero.
Well, you want to grab your torch and pitchforks because Shrek is coming to Guam. The DOE's Gifted and Talented Education Project will be presenting the Broadway musical Shrek coming in April at the FD Phoenix Center.
It's a fantastically amazing comedy musical that's burning up all over Broadway.
That, of course, is Gate Theater instructor and impresario Ernest Achoco, who is the director. He says the comedic show highlights important social qualities such as tolerance and multicultural diversity.
There's so much happening in the world right now that's kind of dividing our country, and that's dividing people and families. This is one way for us to kind of laugh about the situation that we're in right now and still kind of understand that the message of hope and unity is still there.
Auditions for the musical start tonight and run through Thursday from 4 to 6 p.m. at Teaden High School in room 201. Anyone ages 7 and up is welcome. For more information, you can call Ernest at 487-3767. That's 487-3767. Do you like Shrek?
Yes, I do. It's funny.
We should audition for that play.
I think you should.
You and I.
I think you should.
Okay, Ernest, can I play Donkey?
Ernest always puts on a great production.
Yeah.
So.
Shrek and Donkey.
So make sure to audition.
That is Team Supreme right there. All right, stay tuned, everybody. Sports coming up next.
Managing our wireless data used to drive my family crazy. But now that we've switched to GTA and get all that bonus data, we're spreading the love. You sure you don't mind the wait, honey?
Take your time. I'm good.
But we're missing the game.
Nope. I've got bonus data from GTA. Come and watch.
Love it.
Get 10 extra gigs of wireless data on every line every month when you bundle. Visit gta.net for more details.
The Down Syndrome Association of Guam exists to support families of individuals with Down syndrome. We're a group of parents who have children with Down syndrome and know the joys and challenges of raising them. For more information about the health, development, and education of a child or adult with Down syndrome, please contact Vicky Areola at 472-6114.
At Island Cancer Center, we treat our patients and their families like our family. We have all been touched by cancer, and it is important to feel comfortable and secure under the care of our health professionals. You can count on us for skilled cancer specialists, the most advanced cancer-fighting technology on the island, and a commitment to caring for you or your loved one with compassion, respect, and empathy. Our family, treating your family.
Island Cancer Center, located on Guam Medical Plaza. Visit us at islandcancercenter.com or call 646-3363.
Medium Pizza Hut pizzas just $8.99 each.
Did they say Pizza Hut?
For $8.99?
Yes, and yes.
Yes! Introducing the deal you want on the pizza you crave. 2 medium pizzas just $8.99 each. No one out pizzas the Hut.
KUAM Sports is presented by Triple J.
For Dave Marianas, Guausi Chris, proudly brought to you by Triple J, KUAM Sports. On the way, Super Bowl. Let's do it. Airport Week 2018, more like Airport Month. The organization held their annual sporting events through January, beginning with their 5K. Also, a basketball tournament held at the Jungle, Bowl-a-thon at Central Lanes, golf tournament at Starts Golf Course, and wrapped up with a softball tournament at the Tees and Softball Fields. Congrats to everybody who participated in the sporting events, helping make the airport strong. Guam Track and Field Association holding an open track and field meet Sunday, January 28th from 8 in the morning till 12 noon at the Guam High School track. Events ranging from the 100-meter to the 5,000-meter, including hurdling, field event, and a medley relay. The meet will also include a free 60-meter dash for athletes under 10 years old. The full listing of events available on the Guam Track and Field Association's Facebook page. GTFA President Derek Mandel says the open meet, the first of a series of qualifiers for international competitions this summer, and they're looking to send strong contingencies to the Micronesia Area Championships in June, as well as the Micro Games in July. These meets allowing athletes the opportunity to post qualifying marks. Participation open to the public, free for GTFA members, and $5 for non-members. Pre-registration ends on Friday, January 26th. Race day registration, $10. Participants must present a valid photo ID at the gate to enter the campus. Athletes interested in competing can visit the Facebook page. That's facebook.com/Guam Track Field Association for registration info, or email, do it the old-fashioned way, gtfaboard@gmail.com. Two-time defending champ Personal Finance Center Lady Crushers begin their spring 2018 bid in the Bud Light Women's Soccer League Premier Division with a 4-1 victory over the Bank of Guam Lady Strikers. The Lady Crushers are on a 20-match undefeated streak dating back to opening day of spring 2017. After missing out on the Fall 2016 championship with a loss to the Napa Lady Rovers in that season's semis, the Lady Rovers also enjoyed an opening day win Sunday, shutting out heavy hitters Nutrition Mission Heat 4-0. Last season's runner-up, Quality, defeated the Islanders FC 3-1. Full schedule available at guamfa.com. All right, Eagles at Patriots. It is Super Bowl 52, the 5th day of February here on Guam. Kickoff 9 in the morning on KUAM TV 8. Eagles, Patriots, place your bets, place your bets. Once again, Marianas, Guausi Chris, thanks for watching. Hasta adios.
I had a dream. I walked into a dealership, picked out a new car, gave them no money, and they're letting me drive it for free the next 3 months.
At Nissan Guam, your dream has become a reality during the premier New Year event. For the new year, you can drive away a new Nissan with no money down and not make a payment for the next 3 months. It's on the house, no money down. We make your first 3 payments. Just sign and drive away. For details, stop by Nissan Upper Tumon or log on nissanguam.com.
We are on our way to GPO to surprise our prepaid flyaway winner! You could be the next one to win a free round-trip United flight to Manila with 4 of your friends.
Excuse me, are you Moonsha? Yes. You won a trip for you and 4 of your friends to go to Manila!
Just purchase and load any Docomo Pacific prepaid card until February 28th and get automatically entered for your chance to win.
Introducing McDonald's new $1, $2, $3 menu. With favorites for $1, like any size soft drink, or $2, like a sausage McGriddles, or $3 favorites, including Happy Meals. It's your menu. Use it to build the My Roommate Ate My Lunch meal, the Breakfast is on Me meal, or the Father and Son meal.
So you said 2 McChicken and a medium Sprite for only $3.
Exactly. It's your menu with your favorites. Build whatever meal you want. The all-new $1, $2, $3 menu from McDonald's. With every era comes two things. Change. And a Honda Accord that defines a generation. Introducing the all-new Accord, the most impressive Honda ever.
All right, while we prepare for our Shrek auditions, here are tonight's birthday shoutouts.
Happy birthday wishes tonight going out to Isaiah Similiano. Also, happy birthday wishes going out to Alexander Scholing today, who has his 9th birthday. Happy 26th birthday wishes going out to Boboy, a.k.a. Junior Boy. Happy birthday to Carrie B. Duenas. We love you, says your family. And happy birthday to Carida. Also, happy belated birthday wishes to Rosa M. Kitachai, to Stephen Cruz, and to Amaro Yunus.
All right, and if you want to be part of Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club, all you got to do is go to KUAM.com and register. Seriously, we should audition for Shrek.
Go for it. Extras next.
Flying solo.
Closed captioning is brought to you by IT&E Life in Motion. Health, home, and lifestyle. Presented by Paradise Fitness Center, changing lives since 1996.
Here we are, ladies and gentlemen, in our Harmon studios, and there you are, and thank you for watching or streaming us. Nurse Jen Artero is our healthcare correspondent, and she has another informative installment of Health Check.
Health Check with Nurse Jen is presented by Island Cancer Center.
Hafa day, I'm Nurse Jen. A cleft lip with or without a cleft palate